been getting a ton of questions about this, so I thought I'd finally do a video showing you kind of my workflow between CoSchedule and Squarespace. I know it is totally different than when you use WordPress with CoSchedule, so I thought I would go ahead and just do a full tutorial on it. So, right now I am in my CoSchedule calendar. We're in January of 2017, and I have my blog posts scheduled in here. So, these little blue guys on Mondays are my blog posts, and I have them scheduled out for the full year. So basically what they are right now is just a title. I create these at the beginning of every year. I just create the title, I label it, I schedule it, I add some tasks so that way I remember to actually write the post and everything. And then we have some social media templates in here that we use and that we fill later using the social helpers. So you can see we have some content ready. We just need to add it once a blog post is written. So unlike in WordPress, I don't write my blog post in CoSchedule itself. I actually go over to my Squarespace site. I go into my blog and I create a new draft. So I'm going to show you guys this step by step. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this title over. And then I kind of create my template, I guess, of my normal blog post. So I have a little intro, I have the graphic, and then I have the actual content itself. I add the categories that I'm going to kind of be using for this. This is going to be productivity and running a business. And then I go into my options. I will add the same graphic here that I add to my blog post right here. And I add a URL. So this is 21-day challenge. I just usually make these up as I go. But I will then save this as a draft, but I also want to have it scheduled. So what I do is I change it to scheduled. I always do it at 8 a.m. And you'll see I'm choosing the same time as it is in CoSchedule. So once it is technically scheduled, I just click back on this and I save it as a draft. Then when I hit save, you'll see it pop up in your drafts and it'll have that date that you scheduled it for. Even though it's a draft and it's not actually scheduled, it saves that date for you. So in a new window here, let me scooch this down so you guys can see this. I'll start typing in my URL and I paste that URL that I created. It's not going to go to any page right now since it's not actually created, but now I can go over to CoSchedule and let's drag this back up. In CoSchedule, you can add links. So you click on this little link icon and I will paste that link in there and then I can hit save as draft. And that way, as we start to create the social media for this guy, it'll autofill all of my links for me. So you can see it'll fill these bit.ly links with the actual link to the blog post. So that way, when this is time to go out, it already has the correct link in there. Now, my workflow from here is pretty simple. The first thing that I'll do is outline my blog post. And by that, let me show you this one, for example. Wait, let's find one that I've actually outlined. Okay, so this is a blog post that's already been published, but basically my outline means that I write the introduction, and I'll copy and paste this introduction to my options tab into my excerpt. This just makes it a little easier to view on my blog itself. Like I said, I upload my graphics, so I'll upload the same image to both my blog post and in the options tab. And then I'll just outline it. So I use my headers, my heading 1s, 2, and 3, to kind of mark out what I want to write. And then I always add kind of an action question at the end, just to get some comments going and to give some people, kinds of things to think about once they've read the post. So from there, I can go into my CoSchedule and mark that I've outlined the blog post. And do that 10 days before the publish is due. A lot of times I do this way earlier, but this is just kind of when my reminder pops up. The next thing I do is I actually write the content. So once I have kind of an outline written, it's really easy to just fill it in. I'll create any, graphics or videos or any kind of tools that need to go along with it. I'll add in some links, and then I start to actually write my content. Once that's all done, I can check it off in CoSchedule. The last step is to add social cues. So this is my social helpers. I'll actually add content in here relevant to the blog post. So I might say, check out my new blog post on the 21-day organization challenge, or need to get organized? Check out this 21-day challenge. And those will autofill into my social media that I created at the beginning of the year. And then the last thing to do is to finalize my social media and finalize the whole post. So that's when I'll come in here, I'll mark it as scheduled. I'll check for any spelling errors, formatting errors, anything like that in my blog post on Squarespace. And then I'll set my blog post to scheduled as well. And I hit save. And then they will both be scheduled in Squarespace and in CoSchedule. So that way everything goes out at the same time. All of my social media will go out along with the post. So that's kind of how I connect the two. They're not technically connected at all. They're totally separate, but that's my workflow for working in here. Now I should mention that right now I'm using the standard calendar. It's just a solo standard. If you want to use templates, like at the beginning of the year to create social media, to add tasks quickly, that kind of thing, you'll need this solo marketing calendar at the least. There are also team plans, so you'll need the marketing calendar, either team marketing or solo marketing, in order to use templates. Typically, I only sign up for this for 1 month at the beginning of the year when we're planning all of this, and then I'll cancel my subscription and go back to the solo, because we only need those templates for 1 time a year. So that just saves us a little money by doing that, and it also allows us to really plan things out in advance and to make sure that we are totally set for the entire year. So just to show you a little bit here, we're in 2017. If I go to December, you'll see I already have tasks and social media completely ready for the entire year of 2017. And as of this video, it's November 22nd of 2016. So planning things out in this way really helps it kind of be a really good tool. If you're interested in more on this, we have an entire blog post about it on the Conrad Pro blog, which I will link to down below if you're interested in checking that out. Alright, you guys, that is all for now. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I hope that was helpful for everyone. Have a great day.